Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. In today's video, we're back with Arty again. He introduced himself yesterday, so Arty, you don't get a chance. We're going to go through... No, I'm just kidding, mate. How you going, dude?
We're doing good.
No, that's good. It's actually about 3 minutes after our previous video, which was yesterday's video. But Arty, I can confirm, is still doing good. He's in high spirits. He's theory crafting like crazy. Told me a really good nugget about Raku, which we're going to actually say now because I thought it was a fantastic one. And what was that about Raku, Arty?
The effect on Raku's 30 sig can crit. So it can do double the damage that it looks like it does normally. So 1300% of Raku's attack rating, which makes his burst infinitely better and makes Eye on Raku ridiculously powerful. So you're getting an additional 30% on top of that.
Yeah, so the crazy thing on that is it's not just that it can do like 30 like crit and do like 30% of their max HP, it also increases the limiter on his attack damage so you can get to 1300. I thought that was ridiculous. I didn't know that was a thing. Arty's been doing like a bunch of testing, so big props for that one. But what was that?
Testing all goes credit to Bob49. We're going to make a guide on it eventually. This dude is wonderful.
Bob49, get around him. I'll definitely cover that once you guys make that guide. But they're going through random stuff. Like you found out about. Let's just go into another one quick one, and then we can save the rest for when you do it. What was your other one about Hodgkin?
Hodgkin doesn't take use of Warwick's throw debuff. For no reason, he just doesn't do it.
And my question to that was, how the hell did you even decide to look at that and figure that out? But I'll let you guys do your thing and we'll pass on the information. But let's stop getting sidetracked. Let's jump into the 5 pull, the chicken ear on, because in the last video we talked about, taking Lucretia out of it and having these guys as utility for other teams. So what are the core teams that you see chicken ear on being used with if you're not using it with Lucretia? So with the 5 pull without Lucretia, what are the sort of main comps we're looking at?
Usually your first option is going to be kind of a budget 5 pull. It's going to rely a lot on Iron doing your main damage. Options kind of like Leica, Mishka, Gorvo, just any kind of basic 5 pull team to have pull everyone into Iron and pray Iron does enough damage. Sophia here is really nice just for a debuff as everyone gets pulled in. She can even work at Elite. A lot of the time she isn't someone you're focusing with stuff like Chicken and Krenn and Entendre being really relevant right now.
Yep.
As you evolve beyond this team, Queen is usually going to be your next best option as another 5 pull based team without having to soak up other carries. As long as you can get Queen to survive and have the enemies grouped up, that way her stun can apply, especially with Chicken. It's going to be very effective and usually stun lock, and then your biggest issue becomes, can I do enough damage?
Yeah. So would you, in that final slot, if we're running something standard with a Leica, what would your general go-to be for that? Obviously, it depends on situation, whether you need damage or whether you don't. But if you needed the damage, who would be your secondary option? Would you look at something like a Titus or...
Titus has fallen off a lot from campaign. He's not unusable. He's definitely not bad at all, but he isn't super big for campaign or anything of the like. I'd look towards a Mishka, or if you can afford it, a Zorwrath would be really good for extra damage because he'll tank stuff immediately and also help you apply your debuff consistently with Queen because he'll AoE hit everyone.
Yep.
A lot of the investment, a lot of the time, having an Iron, Chicken, and a Queen live. As long as you have Queen Sig to buff their damage, or I think it's on her 9 furniture actually is her damage amplification, that'll usually be enough to end just about any fight.
What do you feel about a star in there? Because a star also packs a pretty big punch for damage and also gives you that early mitigation to help everything survive at the start of the battle.
She's definitely not bad, and I think you could probably use her over Leica in situations where Queen will live on the front line without. You could do Brutus or Mishka and then a star. And then a star, when she ults, will actually help a lot with the Queen debuff too.
Yep. There's Brutus out. There he is. So this probably isn't the best enemy team to try it against because we actually...
Definitely not.
The Kelther's not the greatest, but we do have the Thorin and shit like that. So let's swap that up a little. Let's just go to the next team. I don't even know what it is. Let's see how this one goes.
That's a fine team to test into.
And then we can also try it into the tower as well at a higher deficit. But let's take a look at this one. And I think a star, and this is my thing for a star, a star's like Mishka for me. I feel like Wilders have had 2 great supports in those 2, in that you can really splash them in just about any team. Oh, we are missing out here. Let's go that again.
Yeah, the issue is, the Astar didn't keep up the stun lock, and Chicken's Sandstorm fell down for a second, so then Thane was able to ult.
Yeah, let's just swap it up. This is what I do. I'm really lazy, and I hate retrying the same thing. Let's just try this, see how this
That's
goes. Euron's going to drop. Yeah, there we go. We lost again.
He pushed Oscar outside of the group.
I also think this is an awkward team with, like, when you look at the survivability along with the immunity that these guys have. Because you've got the Oscar as well in there who's going to wipe his glasses.
Oh, I totally forget that character has that. Oh, yeah. Good lord.
Who's Oscar? You got Oscar and Thane in this team, who are two that you hate playing, but you hate playing against as well. I've always hated Thane, and then Oscar, especially in control teams, is really annoying. So we might have to bounce around to another team to actually get that one to happen, because yeah, he's got that. He's just too quick at doing it. And as you can see, we've knocked back here, and then Queen's at the back. And I don't think we're going to have what it takes to get through this. No, we're not. All right, so let's just bounce out of that. Let's go
move it to another team.
Yeah, next team. That one's got Kelther, which isn't too much of an issue because he should end up grouping. What else did it have?
You'll hope so.
If we do that, I think we should be okay, I think, as long as they get grouped, which they should.
Chicken didn't put off a sandstorm at all.
Be better, Chicken. Be better. We could still get... I thought we were going to still get that. I'm a big fan of Queen, so we're not going to stop until we get this, because you know I'm a big fan of Queen. I think she's like one of the greatest characters in the game. I just like... I know when she came out, a lot of people were like, oh, but the bike doesn't make any sense and all that. I just think it's a really cool feature, and I just like seeing things that don't make sense.
Try swapping Chicken and Astar.
Oh, yeah, because Chicken's dying
too quick. See if that'll do anything.
Yeah, she's immune to the CC up there too.
There we go. Now we've got Sandstorm going. Kelther's a bit split, though.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think we should get him. If that Kelther solos us, it's time to cry.
There we go.
There we go. Got it happening. So let's try, because like I feel like that was a bit sketchy on a couple, and people are like, yeah, it's not going to work at high deficit. I want to take it into high deficit because, you know, Queen's awesome. So let's jump here. I feel like this isn't too bad.
It's a little...
Does he still get his bombs off? Does he still get his bombs off?
His bombs will still go off. Theoretically, if you pull him and stun him, I don't think he'll run back. And if he does, Chicken might still be able to stop him. It's definitely still worth a shot trying on. I don't think he's someone you can't fight against.
Let's give it a crack. So we'll put you there. We'll put... What else have we got? We got a star. We got you. We got... Who's my last two? What were we just using?
It was Brutus and Queen.
And Queen. Let's go here. Where are you? There we go. Let's go you there, you there, you there. And that's let's see how this goes. Higher deficit. Hopefully we can get it to happen. Let's see. Queen dropped too early. Man, I'm surprised how early everyone dropped in that one, considering we were bringing the Astar in for that mitigation.
Yeah, there's a lot of early burst with Volley and Krenn. Oh.
Ooh, close. Not quite there. What's this team got? It should... I feel like we'll get this. We might try a couple times and come back, because I ain't going to quit until we get this Queen one to work. And then we can also test at this high deficit, you know, just the standard 5 pool as well. We'll be back in a sec. Okay, so we had to do a few tries. On the first 2 stages of this Floor of King's Tower, the Tali was just too much. She'd enter like invincibility mode and just shred the whole team. It happened every time. So we jumped over to this one, which didn't seem like a great matchup with the Thorin. But it ended up working pretty well, and we did put the Mishka in this team. Mishka's just too clutch if you need it, plus she gave us the 3 faction bonus. Astar actually doing some pretty good damage in this one as well, but the whole idea behind this one, especially because it had the Eloard, was just basically stun lock so that they can't, so he doesn't get his explosion off with all that extra damage as well, and it pretty much worked the way we wanted it to. you can't actually hope for much more than that, can you, Arty?
Yeah, no, it just kept them all stun locked. No one else could actually cast anything.
And there we go. Although something we did figure out something, at least I think we did. We need to verify it more. But on the previous stage, which was this one here, it looked like when Mishka's wolves died, they ran out of the screen and triggered bombs by Krenn. So it's like sort of like a cheese way to get rid of a bomb. I don't think that'll ever come into use, but I think that's what was
I
happening.
I hope no one ever gets to the point in pushing where a Mishka wolf dying and running off screen to trigger a Krenn bomb from the enemy team is relevant. But if it
Yeah.
is, Godspeed to you.
100%. I can see people like min-maxing to that at some stage, but yeah, that's obviously more of a team that's using two really strong new supports as well. So I don't think we're going to get any luck using just the standard type of team, but we will try it. These stages are just a bit hard for that. But let's go ahead with the Leica. Let's go with the Sophia if I can find her. There she is. And who am I looking for our last slot?
Brutus was like your last fifth.
Yeah,
Brutus just a basic easy fifth slot in.
All right, let's see how this goes. I just don't think we're gonna have the deeps for it. Let's put you there. I think that should be okay-ish. I don't like our chances. I kind of want to do Gorvo instead of Brutus, but you know I love Gorvo, so maybe the Sophia does have the damage. Maybe to get us there. Nah, I think we
She maybe killed one.
Yeah, I think we're gonna struggle with this. Let's go over here. Let's get my man Gorvo because he's the man.
He's putting in the turtle.
Turtle OP.
Turtle keeps diving.
Looks like he keeps jumping at the totem. If we got a big Sophia ult there, maybe. But yeah, I think we're going to need that better support at this deficit, especially with these kind of teams that we're looking at. But yeah, any other sort of chicken Iran type comps that you look at as well?
There's two other spots that I'd really look to put chicken in Iron. Your first other spot, probably kind of the most obvious one, is Thorin cheese.
Yeah.
Thorin really likes having everyone grouped up, and whether you use Iron or not, because there are some cases where maybe you can use like Iron to group up with Thorin cheese and then use chicken with Lucretia invade or whatnot. Just being able to group up everyone right on top of Thorin is especially good for like single stages, because for your singles, they're sometimes going to be a lot harder than your multis. So you just need like one team to just brain dead, clear it, pray for some RNG. That is some of your easiest stuff. As long as you've got like a Rowan or someone to feed Thorin some energy, that's just going to be enough to win a stage usually on its own.
Let's give it a look. Obviously, Thorin cheese is something we're not going to sit here and try to do too long because I don't know how people play Thorin cheese. Well, I do know they just play macros, but I can't do it. I can't deal with Thorin cheese. It's something that he's just something I've never brought myself to build because of literally that factor of I can't be bothered doing the retries on Thorin. This is a good one. What's your general feel on Thorin? Like, do you like him?
I personally don't mind him because although you sometimes might feel forced into him, he isn't something who you need to progress at a decent deficit. You can do like 180 to 200, 210 deficit clears without Thorin cheese for 5 stages. It's just a lot more beneficial to have him.
There we go.
But at the same time, you can sometimes just RNG out wins like that.
Yeah, but what I mean is like, do you find it tedious just the retries? Because like it is heavily RNG based. I guess everything when you're pushing at really high limits
I was gonna say, it really depends on your deficit. Thorin is a lot harder to RNG the lower your deficit is.
Yeah.
Once you get them really high, it actually becomes a lot easier to try and finagle wins because most people who you're playing around with, it's going to be your Thorin and your team gets one shot or you one shot them.
Yeah.
But if you're doing like a 160 to like sometimes 200 deficit clear with Thorin, you might not be taking enough damage, especially if you don't know how to maximize his gear.
Yeah, I remember the first time I played through Thorin with you and you were like teaching me how to get wins and you're like, so this piece has to be elite, but those two pieces have to be like tier 2 and that one can be tier 1. And I'm like, holy shit, dude, I have no idea what's going on here.
Yeah, sometimes you have to take off his 9 furniture and remove his crit defense. Sometimes you have to, or a lot of the time you have to cut off his chest plate to an elite faction chest plate and his helmet to a basic mythic helmet.
Yeah, big brain stuff. I'm just not the biggest Thorin person, although I do like the skin. The Halloween skin was really good. And you said there was 2 others. What was the other one we were looking at?
The other one that we were looking at is a team that is it existed right when you released, and then it's kind of come back, is Krenn. A lot of Krenn teams have actually been able to make use of chicken just as a general repositioning unit, especially with Mishka, because you're going to group people up and then Mishka's going to leap on them all and keep them stunned.
Yep. And what would the
A
rest
lot
of
of the
this is
times,
that using things like Leica to obviously get off faster or
there's usually two buffer. You're either going to use Rain or Mortis a lot of the time with Krenn actually as a buffer for Krenn.
Yep.
In this case, I think Mishka might take the buff, but it'll work.
We'll have a crack and
Uh,
see. Wait, let's go to all and we'll be able to see here. Yeah, Mishka's gonna get it. Rip. Okay, let's just use Mortis. Let's use Mortis.
Let's use Mortis, try and have him buff. He's probably in team 3.
Go.
He's totally in team 3.
Mortis.
Yeah, just use Mortis, and then you can just throw in Brutus again, a basic generic tank.
Oops. There we go. Let's see.
And hopefully, as long as Mishka lives on the front, she can immediately dive in and then stun lock.
And what's your theory on Krenn coming back a little bit?
I think it's a lot to do with a couple things. Leonardo da Vinci, him coming out, has unlocked sometimes a new 5th Sunlock-based team that will either use your 5-pull core or it'll use an entirely unique team. There's a lot of cases where people use like Khazard, Mishka, and Da Vinci and just like stun lock people, and then with Vinci they'll have enough damage eventually.
Yep.
As well as the fact that people have just not been wanting to invest into Ainz. People are kind of getting tired of forcing all your investment into him until he's as high pumped up as you can get him.
Yeah.
As well as a lot of new players aren't wanting to force him and Albedo together, whereas you can instead get stuff like your Queen, your Prince, and a lot of other options from Garrison.
Yeah, see that's another interesting thing to me, which we're getting sidetracked from the topic of the video, but I think we're pretty much done on the chicken Iron side of things. But I want to talk about it while we got you here. Is the Garrison Mercenaries is a really interesting one because when it came out, it was like that's like an amazing feature. But it's amazing for people who are missing 1 or 2. But now, as the game's developed further, if you're starting a new account now, it's sort of like it's not. The thing I think it still works with is if you have an IP, like if you loved like Albedo and Ainz and like that's everything, and you can get them, that's really nice. If you were like a big fan of Joker and Queen, you can pick them up. But it's like going through the order of building them on a basis of like, you know, most OP and stuff like that. I think it gets a bit tedious. I feel like, because like, I don't know about you if you've seen more players coming in, but it's like that tediousness of having to do that is sort of not as rewarding as opposed to if it's just because you love that character and you want to pick them up for collection value.
Yeah, it originally, I was a bit more scared of the feature than I am now. The biggest thing is that because we haven't had a lot of current dimensional releases and our last 2 have all gone straight into the Challenger store, it's actually been pretty reasonable to put some barracks coin and some barracks coins and some guild coins into dimensionals.
Yeah.
The priority of them is still very up to debate right now. A lot of people are really suggesting doing like Prince early on for like your first month or so because he's a really good early game pusher, and then you like move into Ainz or Albedo, or you start like Queen. But there's so many different build paths that you can take to where even garrisoning isn't a straightforward option.
Yeah, 100%. That's right. I was just curious to get your insight on that because, yeah, it's such an interesting one. Like, it's great that the feature's there, but it's also it becomes overwhelming once you've got that many. Also, another random topic. Do you think we'll get another collab in the game? Because it's been a long time since we had a collab.
I don't think it's out of the picture. I think it depends really on how the first half of 2022 goes. Because we know Lilith are in development of whatever they're classifying AFK2 as. I've heard so many different theories on if it's a new game, if it's like patch 2.0 for AFK. I've heard so many different things overall with it.
Yeah, see, I thought like once they announced Dislight last year, I thought that was it, but then everyone's like, nah, it's actually there's like another one, AFK2 or something. I don't really know what's even going on with that scene.
Yeah, I won't look too far into it. When it comes out, it comes out. But depending, I know we're supposed to get, according to some data mining and some like basic things and leaks, is that we're supposed to get a Baba Yaga dimensional. I don't know if it's some kind of like keyword for another character or if it's actually a dimensional that's coming. If it is, that's cool. If it is, that's cool. I love like more mythology-based dimensionals. We already have like Arthur and Merlin.
Yep. That'd be
And
cool.
if it's code name for something else and it's a dimensional, I'm totally up for it.
Yeah, see, I know when we were having all the dimensionals, everyone was like, too many dimensionals, like it's not fun. But now I'm like kind of at the stage, like, we've had 2 that are like just challenger store ones. I want something like unique, I like the whole collab thing. I think it's a bit of fun, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it was really bad when it was like 2 into another 2, like back to back with like a 2-week break between them. But now we've had just 1, and then like it was like 2 months and another, and now we're on like another month without having Vinci. And now it's been probably 2 months since Vinci, so
due for one.
We've been due for a dimensional.
That's all right. Well, anyway, I think that just about covers our general chit chat at the end of the video. Once again, Arty, really appreciate you coming on, dude. Always fantastic insights into these ones. Yeah, what I forgot to do in the last video is don't forget to check Arty out on Reddit. Like he said, he's working on all those random things that you'll see when you do that. You'll post that on your Reddit, won't you?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, so I'll leave a link to Arty's Reddit. Make sure to go follow him over there. I'm not a great Reddit user. Whatever you have to do, give him just give him the support. Anyway, guys, Arty, once again, thanks for coming, dude. Really do appreciate it. Any last words?
Just thank you for having me on. I hope everyone has good times pushing and is able to make use of some of these strategies we've shared here.
Too good, man. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and we'll look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.